Good morning and welcome to Real Talk with Tamara. As you guys come into the room, please hit the like button. Also, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. I hope that you guys are doing okay this morning. I know that I am. I know that I've been missing in action, but as I said, I have other things going on outside of YouTube. And fortunately for me, but also it's unfortunate as far as YouTube, it has been kind of keeping me away from doing as many videos that I normally do at this point. But it's just at this point, I'll be back in the swing of things when all of this, what I'm doing outside of YouTube is over, or slows down, not over, but slows down. Okay. But I always express how important it is to hit the like button, okay? Because it helps to keep the video on the algorithm, especially with me not being on YouTube as much. I definitely need you all to help keep me in the algorithm with hitting the like button, sharing the videos, and definitely subscribing to the channel, okay? Now, I wanted to talk about was Young Dolph responsible for the death of Black Youngster's brother? And I know that has been into the atmosphere, and you know, I do believe that that may have came from Black Youngster's insurance agent. That is what Black Youngster's insurance agent, when he did the interview with Thaddeus Matthews, he kind of broke a lot of information and put a lot of information out there. Of course, we know that Thaddeus Matthews, aka the cousin pastor, he's a fellow Memphian, that gets a lot of information right as it relates to the Young Dolph's case. I like to give people their props, and a lot of other cases. He's one of the ones that breaks the news because he has always been like a shock jock. So people know a lot of city officials also, so people kind of go to him when they want to break news and things of that nature. Of course, we heard that interview where the insurance agent, Black Youngsters, I'm sure he's an ex-insurance agent now, gave Thaddeus Matthews a lot of vital information. And he not only did he give a lot of vital information, he also brought that up, that allegedly Black Youngster was mad at Young Dolph. Allegedly Dottie and Black Youngster was mad at Young Dolph because supposedly Black Youngster had sent his brother to try and do something to Young Dolph, and actually the opposite happened. Now that is what the insurance agent said. Well, based on what I was told from somebody that I'm very, very close to that would know, that did not happen, right? It could be, that they don't know, but I don't know if I've ever told what I was told. I think I had put in, just kind of lightly put into the atmosphere, that something else was said. I can remember when I was told that the young man had unfortunately met a demise, but that is not what I was told what had happened, right? And so, if nobody has ever, um you never heard Black Youngster say that, right? Because number one, Black Youngster and Young Dolph in the beginning didn't have no beef. It was like secondhand beef that came by way of Yo Gotti, right? I think Black Youngster just kind of jumped into that beef, but I was definitely told that that is not what actually happened. And from my understanding, Black Youngster's mother had no issues with Young Dolph either. I would think that if somebody um, um, had taken your son out and things of that nature, um, you would have an issue, with them. But just just based on what I was told, that is not what happened. And I think that it's unfortunate. So we've heard, quite a bit of scenarios, especially when the insurance agent put that into the atmosphere. And I'm not saying that the insurance agent don't know. I'm just saying that people that would be close to the situation didn't know. Um, the insurance agent could know what he's talking about, but before he ever even said that, that is not what was put into the atmosphere. Could it have been that Black Youngster didn't want for his family to know what had happened to his brother, that that could have been it. Because um if it happened that the way that the insurance agent claims that it happened, then that would not have been Young Dolph's fault. Black Youngster would have to take the fault of his own. And sometimes I wonder, with Black Youngster getting so deep into this situation with Gotti and Young Dolph, he took it. He got into it like the fight was originally between him and Young Dolph. When Young Dolph had said from the very start, he didn't have any issues with Black Youngster because he didn't know him. I think everybody was just kind of baffled with why Black Youngster went so hard. And if it happened the way that the insurance agent claims that it happened, then I think Black Youngster would need to take a look at himself. Um, I've heard Black Youngster say in past interviews, a long time ago, that he was actually protective of his brothers and things of that nature. So I guess that's the reason why it makes me question if he would send his brother on a mission like that. Um, then, you know, that he knew that could get him hurt. You see what I mean? So, and then Young Dolph people would not, if it happens the way that the insurance agent said, would not be at fault for protecting Young Dolph, right? It's just hard for me to believe, as a logical thinking person, that somebody would actually send their own brother on a mission like that. And as I said, that's not the way that I was told that it actually happened. Um, Me personally, I kind of believe that, people have put into the atmosphere that when that happened, because they were so into it, maybe Young Dolph people threw out some subliminals when it happened, and Black Youngster thought in his mind that they was making fun of his brother or something like that. I kind of think, in my opinion, that might be as far as it goes, but it still does not. It did not constitute how hard that Black Youngster came at Young Dolph, because even if it happened the way that the insurance agent said that it happened, where Black Youngster sent his brother, Black Youngster would need to take that. Black Youngster would need to take that blame, because and he would have been the one that sent his brother out like that, right? So it could be that he's feeling guilt. And oftentimes, I know with people, and I don't know Black Youngster, but I'm just saying, people, when they're self-righteous and things of that nature, they do things and they cannot take the pain of what came with that, and so they start trying to exert that pain up on other people. That could be what happened, when the fact of the matter is that he would be the exact one to blame, if it happened like that. You know what I mean? Even if it happened either way, or he was just mad at Young Dolph because he felt like some of Young Dolph's people, threw out subliminals on Instagram when his brother unfortunately met a demise. Because I hate to see any young man lose their life. And either way it go, I hate what happened to TD. But if it happened the way that the insurance agent said that it happened, then we would have to blame Black Youngster, especially if he sent his brother. I think, when people are emotionally unstable, the reason people never get better is because they find ways to point the finger at other people rather than taking responsibility for things that they have done. So, in my opinion, and I would have to say, in my opinion, um when people say, well, what do you think? Do you think that Young Dolph actually, he sent his brother on that mission, and Young Dolph's people protected him and things of that nature? I'm gonna have to go with what I was told by somebody that I truly trust. And I'm not saying that they got the correct information, because there could be some hiccups in it, but I was told that that is not what happened. I was actually told what did happen, and that wasn't it. And they still stand adamant on that. That is not what happened. That is not the reason. And it could be, like I said, if it happened that way, sometimes people don't want to tell the truth. They might want to cover. They might not want people to know that that they may be at fault for what happened, and they say something else. But since we don't know, we don't know, because there are two different stories out there. I guess I choose to go with what I was told by someone else rather than what the insurance agent say, because I don't know the insurance agent, right? The insurance agent was kind of in that group. He was in that, he kind of did hung with them or kind of dealt with them on the outside of um, business hours, and which is what happens with professionals sometimes. They kind of get like some of these lawyers, they want to be in the midst of these celebrities and their money so bad. They kind of get themselves caught up in stuff that they should not be in. They kind of get in deep. They get in deep, and they end up losing in the very end. With the insurance agent, I think he kind of got in deep, but I think he wanted to he got scared when it went as far as murder, right? He saw he knew exactly what happened. Now, I believe you know what happened with that. I don't think you're telling no lies on a lot of that. And he wanted to clear himself. He wanted to make sure that his name did not come up as it relates to that situation. And so I think he got scared and he wanted no parts of a murder. That part, what he said about the car and all of that, I absolutely 100% believe a lot of that. Right? I don't think he was trying to throw anybody off. I don't. I think that he knew just enough. Okay, he knew just enough. Even if he got some parts wrong, I think he knew just enough to know the direction. Right. Um, but yeah, do I believe was Young Doc responsible for Black youngsters brother's death? I don't believe that he was. I don't believe that he was, because even if he um even if it happened the way that the insurance agent said that it happened, Young Dolph still would not have been responsible if his people protected him. But I guess for me, being a logical thinker, I don't want to believe that somebody would actually send their brother to do something like that, to put their lives in danger, especially by themselves or something like that, or even not by themselves. But I was told a completely different situation happen, right? And that's what I was told, right? And it had nothing to do with Young Dolph, right? um at all. So I don't know if that was what the insurance agent was told to try and justify this crazy situation that they did to Young Dolph. I think a lot of things was thrown around to try and justify and manipulate some of these people that did this. I think it was a lot of manipulation thrown into the atmosphere to get a lot of emotions going, because somebody wanted him gone, and I think that they just started manipulating these little dudes that they had put wanted to do it, and a whole lot of more stuff, right? I think that's actually what happened, when actually there's no justification for what happened to Young Dolph. That, even with Black Youngster's brother, I hate that that happened to him too. I never like to see anybody lose their life, right? Especially young people, because they have all of that life ahead of them. But I don't believe that Young Dolph was responsible for the death of Black Youngster's brother. And even like I said, if it happened the way that that the insurance agent is saying that it happened, Young Dolph still ain't responsible. Because if the Young Dolph has security and things of that nature, of course they are going to protect themselves. You have to think about, how would Black Youngster's brother, if it happened that way, know where Young Dolph was, where did it happen at? I mean, those intricate details were never given. How would he have been able to try to get up on Young Dolph or something like that? How did they know he was out there? You have to think about all of that stuff. And he never provided those types of details. He just put that into the atmosphere. And it could have been something that he was told, because I believe that somebody did say it, but I think it was manipulation put into the atmosphere as manipulation to get what happened done. To make these young dudes that actually went out and did this stuff and messed their lives up even more emotional. Okay. So yeah, I don't think that he was responsible at all. I think people started throwing stuff into the atmosphere. And I do believe that maybe, that the insurance agent thought that. I believe somebody told him that. But I believe, a lot of stuff was thrown into the atmosphere to try and justify or to try to get emotions going to do what happened to young Dolph, um, to try and justify what happened. And there's no justification for what happened, because if young Dolph had wanted to do anything to anybody in that camp, he had enough money to pay somebody to do it, right? I'm told there was a video that Yo Gotti did where he was riding downtown, and this might be an exclusive, okay? Where he was riding downtown, and it's a very short video around Riverside. That's an exclusive area downtown. In that area, he says he's got a house on Riverside, right? And he says that they said that during that video shoot his car was shot up. I think a lot of people often wonder, did Yo Gotti think that I know they said it happened with Black Youngster, but it also happened with Yo Gotti, I'm told. So did Yo in that video shoot, and the video is very short, right? I don't know all of Yo Gotti's songs, but I do remember him being in a car with the top down riding down by Riverside, right? So that's supposedly when that happened. They started shooting at him. That could have been very well anybody. You know, um, we can't say that it was Young Dolph's people, because it could have been anybody. You have to understand, when these dudes, even though Yo Gotti tries to hide behind a lot of people, we know that he's had his hands in a lot of stuff in the street. We know that there's a lot of stuff that had happened with him that he got away with, because he's out allegedly been able to pay people to take the fall, or even way before any of this ever happened, dating back years ago. So it could very well been anybody. It could have been trying to get at him because of some of his artists did. We don't know. We can't say that that had anything to do with Young Dolph. I just think that they just wanted to take Young Dolph out. Like I said, Young Dolph had enough money where he could have actually got back at them for anything. I would have think if he would have did a retaliatory situation, it would have been right after they was trying to assassinate him back in 2017. But of course, that didn't happen, that we know of. So, hey, anyways, I wanted to talk about that. I don't believe that. I just don't believe it. Um, the insurance agent could know what he's talking about, but I guess it's a matter of opinion since we don't know 100%. But I would have to say that I don't actually believe that Young Dolph was responsible for the death of Black Youngster's brother. I would have to say, if it happened the way that the insurance agent said, then Black Youngster is responsible for the death of his brother. I mean, I just have to put that out there. We have to start holding people accountable so that they can start thinking. I think when people have money and things of that nature, folks kind of go, yeah, you know what, bro, it ain't your fault, it ain't your fault. And I hope that that didn't happen. I hope that Black Youngster did not do that, but I actually don't believe that it happened. But if it did happen the way that the insurance agent said, that we can't be mad at Young Dolph's people for protecting him. But I don't think it happened like that. I don't. I don't think that it happened like that. I think that Black Youngster inserted himself in a situation that he had no business inserting himself in, trying to fight Yo Gotti's battles. And a lot of that stuff was put into the atmosphere for justification for what happened. And what happened, we know very well should not have happened. And I hate that that happened to his brother, because he was a young man. That should not have happened either. But I don't believe that Young Dolph people had anything to do with that, right? I don't believe that. I think a lot of that stuff was thrown into the atmosphere for justification and emotionalism to get these young dudes to go out and do what they did. And unfortunately, a lot of lives was ruined, because not only was Young Dolph and his family's life ruined, those young dudes' lives and their families' lives are going to be ruined, and some more folks' lives are getting ready to be ruined, in which it should be, since they want to put hits on people. So I'll say I hate it for their children, because and their mothers, because I have a soft spot for mothers and children. They don't have anything to do with their sons being damn fools, right? But anyways, you guys, I want to talk about that, but I want you guys to please like, share, and subscribe, okay? Please like, share, and subscribe. Also, if you would like to donate to the channel, you can definitely do it via Cash App. You guys, we got to start thinking, and we got to start holding people's feet to the fire. See, I'm one of those ones, I've never gone along to get along, okay? I've always been like this. I'm one of the best people you ever meet, because I'm a loyal person. I'm loyal to a fault until you cross me. You cross me, you can't get back in. Okay. And so I kind of speak what's on my mind when it's necessary. If you know, if I can't be speak real about it, I'm not going to talk about it, because I'm not going to pander and all of that. And regardless of what anybody try to say, I don't, I'm gonna tell the truth about it, okay? And I think, especially with a lot of these celebrities, they are not being told the truth because they got a lot of people on their knees around them trying to get some damn crumbs. Yeah, you're right, man. Yeah, yeah. They want to get them emotional because that's how they solidify their spot. If you got people around you, especially if you got something to lose and they're not trying to talk you down, they don't need to be in your damn life. Because see, people try to solidify their spot by getting you emotional and keeping shit going. Yeah, we gonna ride. Yeah, we gonna ride. That's how they stay in to get the crumbs, right? They dick riders, as they say. Um, yeah. When people keep you in an uproar all the time, trying to push you over the edge, those are people that you don't need in your life. And so that's the reason why I'm gonna speak the truth. I don't know Blac Youngsta personally, but the thing about it is I'm sure he's got a lot of yes people around him. Okay. He's got people, a lot of yes people around him, and a lot of people that has manipulated him around him. Okay. And the truth of the matter is, if it happened the way that the insurance agent said that it happened, we don't know, because they're two different stories. If it happened that way, then I think Blac Youngsta needs to take a look at himself. Okay. Because there's no way that he should have ever sent his brother to do that. No way in hell, especially for Gotti, because the beef was never with Blac Youngsta. It was with Gotti. You don't send your relative out to fight a battle for somebody else. That would have been crazy as hell. That's why I say I don't believe it. It's just too crazy to me. Okay. Um, but if it did happen like that, then he needs to take a look at himself, okay, and do some soul searching, okay, and deal with that. He needs to deal with that, okay. But anyways, you guys, I want you guys to please like, share, and subscribe. I want you guys to know that I love you. I want you guys to always pray and put God first. The enemy has released his agents into the atmosphere, especially around the city of Memphis and out of Memphis too, child. So we just need to get together and pray. And I'm soliciting true prayers for those who truly care about what's going on in the inside of Memphis, for prayer, to defeat the enemy, to just pray for God to release his warring angels on behalf of the Memphians, all of the young people, because these drugs have them zombified and barbaric. And they ain't got no OGs to look up to. They actually pushing them over the edge, okay? So we need God to destroy every demonic man, okay, and thing that is in the atmosphere, okay? But I want you guys to please like, share, and subscribe, okay? I love you guys. I'll talk with you later.